Welcome to Xbox Corner, my name is Alex, and it's that time again. We got the first announcements of what will be leaving Game Pass in March 2022, and while it's only 4 games, this is a quality list of experiences, so hit subscribe. We are quickly approaching 4,000 subscribers, thank you all so much, and here on Xbox Corner you can expect reviews, deals, Game Pass breakdowns and graphical comparisons weekly, and with that, let's get started. As always then, today we'll be taking a look at not only the games that are leaving and giving you a breakdown on what you are potentially missing out on, but also then giving you an idea of how long it takes to beat them. We have 2 times in the upper left of the screen. That's going to be one simply tackling the main story, and then also completionist. That's going to be the average to get all achievements in the game. Often that is not a small undertaking, but it's at least a guide to whether you want to jump in. All of today's games then, they leave on March 15th. So kicking us off then, the Surge 2 will be leaving console, cloud and PC. Not a particularly short game, 22 hours for that main story, all achievements 50 hours. This one though, an action RPG and a very good one at that. Think a futuristic spin on the Souls-like formula. Story-wise then, you are on the way to Jericho City, your plane is shot down. It's for sure not a good start to your day. You'll awake weeks later, you're in a facility surrounded by an army that's enforcing martial law. The big problem though, robots are on a rampage and there's a nanostorm over the city. Now you need to head out and save the day. It's not a particularly smart storyline, but it's definitely a fun ride. Really though, the joy in this one, tons of melee combat that packs a challenge, a huge army of enemies and boss moments, and then your character, there's a whole lot of upgrades and general customization. Think weapons, armor, abilities, implants and even drones. I've always liked the visual style though and the experimentation, and there's something particularly exciting with the huge armor sets you can leverage. There's just a weight to the movement and that translates to the combat feeling just, I guess, brutal and satisfying. PHOGS then is another decent loss to the library, even if it is lesser known. It will be leaving console, cloud and PC. A main story runtime 8 hours, all achievements you're looking at 15. This though, it's one we featured on our top co-op games video, and while you can play it single player, co-op is for sure the intended audience, and that's going to be local and online. The concept here though, simple enough, control a 2-headed dog, one end each, but it's seriously strange. I'm not sure how many drugs the developers were on with this one when they came up with the idea, but they've created something that definitely appeals to all ages. Kids will no doubt kind of see just this vivid cartoon-like game. I almost get that air of surreal. The only thing I will add, it's also not the easiest of games either. You should be able to get through it, but there may be some moments of frustration. The gameplay is great though as you navigate 3D worlds and puzzles, and everything here from the moment you load in, it requires teamwork, whether that's simply choosing to move in the same direction as each other, or then of course getting together and solving puzzles. Those puzzles, think the simple stuff, pressing 2 switches, climbing, or maybe you're fashioning yourself as a water hose. Again, strange game, but it packs a ton of charm, and this was a surprise hit for me. I've linked our best co-op video down below though if you do want some good alternatives. We still then have 2 games incoming, but if you haven't already, make sure to check out our weekly new Game Pass videos to get an idea of everything incoming to replace these titles. Most recently, we've had some seriously heavy hitters, so it's always going to be a good one to check out. Also then, weekly deals and think reviews like the recent Grid and Elix. Those recent videos then in the pinned comment down below. Torchlight 3 then, on this one I actually preferred the second entry myself, but it's still going to be worth a look. It's leaving a console, cloud and PC, and runtime for story here, 16 hours. All achievements online, they are saying that's actually 200 hours, so yeah, definitely not a small one. The main reason there, it seems to be there's an achievement asking you to kill 1 million monsters, and that is a hell of an undertaking. Torchlight 3 though, it's an action RPG, but unlike the Surge 2 earlier in the video, which went for that third person perspective, This one, it's rocking that more old school and traditional isometric look. It's definitely fun, but I wouldn't judge the series off it. Turn to the second game for that. This one though, it's taking place a century later, and yeah, your home, it's under the threat of invasion. You and your allies, you're asked to basically defend it. It's nothing you haven't seen before, let's face it honestly, but yeah, tons of exploration in a decently sized world, combat, loot, character customization, and then also 4 classes to experiment with. Where I find it to be a little bit more unique, I do appreciate the colourful and cartoonish visual style it's packing. You can build out and upgrade your own fort, and then finally you can have a pet which can be equipped with skills and gear to assist you through this world. Our final game of the video then, Nier Automata, and to me this is the big one of the first batch of games leaving in March. All 4 games have their value for sure, but this, it's the one I'd consider a modern classic. It's leaving console, cloud and PC, and runtime, not the shortest, main story 21 hours, all achievements you're looking at right around 65 hours. Honestly though, that 65 hours is going to be a great time from start to finish. This one though, it's another action RPG, this time from Platinum Games and Square Enix. It may be considered one of their very best. Story-wise though, humanity has been driven from Earth by mechanical beings, and in this last-ditch effort, humanity sends an army of androids to destroy them. Now of course a war commences. You are part of this android force though, 2B and company. The combat in this one though, melee and ranged, and that's going to be everything from waves to bosses to almost think a bullet hell style, something I definitely appreciate. If you're worried about difficulty, there's actually an auto mode it packs which I actually never knew about, but it seems to kind of take control and help you through those tougher moments. The combat's just great fun though, you'll leverage light and heavy attacks, and then you'll be packing weapons as well, and there's definitely a nice selection to learn. Throw in then the open world, a desolate but stunning location and customization, weapons, leveling up, skills and loadout, and yeah, this is quality and you'll struggle to find a bad word against it. If I was picking just one game to play out of this list of titles leaving, this would be the easy winner. It's a game many still speak to this day, that's 5 years later, but with good reason. And that is another leaving Game Pass down. We'll be back with our mid-month update as always, once we see what's going to be leaving come the end of the month. Look out for that around the 15th or so of March, or even make your life easier and subscribe along with the notification bell. We do our best to make it worth it, and the support, it is always appreciated. As I said, we are pushing for that 4,000 subscriber mark right now. It's absolutely crazy to us, but we'd love to get there sooner than later. As always, then I'll be leaving you with a quick recap of all the games we did talk to today, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.